Hello everyone, myself Professor Gavali. I am from Civil Engineering Department. I am working as a head of Civil Engineering Department in Brahmadeva Polytechnic since last 9 years. Today, I am going to teach the fifth semester subject, that is estimating and costing. So, before we are going to learn this subject, the learner should have to know the basic and thorough knowledge of building planning and designing, construction materials, building construction for knowing or for finding the various items of civil engineering works, that is estimating and costing. So the definition of estimating is, it is the process to calculate the various quantities of civil engineering works. Means it is a process in which we have to calculate the various quantities. So what do you mean by quantity? The quantity is nothing but the multiplication of length of that item, breadth of item and height of that item. That is quantity. So likewise we have to calculate the various quantities of civil engineering works. And what is costing? It is also a process to calculate the amount of various items of civil engineering work. So in this costing process, we have to calculate the amount of the work. So before we are going to calculate the estimation as well as costing, the learner should have to know all the basic things which are included in the civil engineering works. Which are those civil engineering works? The basic and most important work is building. So building, it is a structure that is categorized in two types. One is load bearing structure and other one is framed structure. So again the building is having two types, mainly residential and second one is public or commercial types of buildings. Then roads, railways, bridges, culverts, that are also a parts of or components of the roads or railway structures. Canals and irrigation works. So canal, it is the component part of the dam which is laid downside or downstream side of the canal and which carry a water which is to be applied for the irrigation purpose. So that are also we have to calculate the various quantities as well as we have to calculate the amount of a particular length of the canal. For that purpose we have to make the estimating process. And again, the other civil engineering miscellaneous structures like steel structures, which are steel buildings which are constructed at the factory sites, right? So this is an just overview which is to be studied by the students in the previous semesters, like civil engineering 4I, 3I for diploma engineering students. So there are basically two types of estimates. First one is detailed estimate and second one is approximate estimate. So detailed estimate, the name itself indicates the detail. It means we are going to calculate the various quantity of items of works in detail or in one by one items of the particular work. It is called as detailed estimate. What is approximate estimate? Approximate estimate, it is an estimate in that we are going to calculate the approximate or lump sum amount of a civil engineering work in a just by following 2 to 3 steps. That is called as approximate estimate. So it is the simple method as well as less time required to calculate the amount of a particular work. So these are the types. Then items of works for a building. We are going to just take an overview. What are the items involved in a building work? So for every building we have to know the various building items like excavation. So for what purpose we are going to excavate for a building construction? That is, the excavation is necessary for making a foundation. That is excavation for foundation. RCC footing. While uh, completing the excavation process, we have to go for next step. That is, we have to do RCC footing or RCC foundation. Then RCC column, RCC beams, slabs, etc. So these are the RCC items which are included in the building. So, UCR machinery or BB machinery. So UCR machinery means uncoarsed level machinery which is constructed up to the ground level up to plinth level. And what is the BBM? BBM is nothing but brick machinery. So burnt brick machinery which is constructed above the plane up to slab level or beam level. That is called as brick machinery. So UCR machinery generally having the various size like 0.45 meter in width and 1.2 at the max 1.2 meter in height for construction, and for making a plan for a building. So the learners should have to know all the sizes, thickness, the minimum sizes which are given in the specification table which is given by our IS code, that is Indian Standard Provision. Right. Then next item is the plastering. Plastering work is done after completion of brick machinery or an UCR machinery. So for UCR machinery we are going to do a pointing, and for a plain that is BB machinery we are going to make a plastering process. So there are two types, that is internal plaster as well as external plaster. Then after applying a cement coat, cement mortar coat, that is called as plastering, we are going to apply next coat, that is called as painting. So in this painting process there are so many types of items included in the painting works like oil on distemper, then whitewashing, Nero finish, then plastic paint, plastic emulsion paint, then luster paint, then oil based any types of paints we are used for the internal painting items, as well as for building exterior coating, that is exterior paints are also used like external oil bond or sun breakers. So many types of external paintings are available in the market. So whatever may be the choice from the owner, we are going to apply for exterior paints. Then plumbing and sanitation, it is a very important point for the building work. So basically these are the basic items of an building, right? For making estimate, we are know or we are going to use the three major tools to calculate or to make the estimate. First one is a measurement sheet. So by using this sheet, we are going to find the various quantities of civil engineering works. Then specification chart or specification table. So specification table, which is also given in the IS code as well as in DSR, that is district schedule of rates, the various items of work is to be classified according to the nature and according to the grades of cement, sand, aggregates that are to be explained in these specifications. Then abstract sheet means for any type of building we are going to use the various items. Actually, for making a building there are generally 20 to 25 civil engineering items are available in for every structure. So according to that, which type or which class of item is to be used is chosen by our owners, right? So by using these specifications, we are going to find the uh, calculate the measurement sheet. So measurement sheet is it is a sheet which is in tabular form like serial number, description numbers, length in meter, breadth in meter, height or depth, which is also in meter, quantity and total quantity. So for this calculation of quantity, it is nothing but the process of estimating, right? So for making an estimate, we are going to use one example of a building plan. Here, this is the 1 BHK building plan we are going to use for calculating the items of various works. So this is the hall having size 5 meter by 4 meter, bedroom having size 3 by 4 meter, kitchen having size 4 meter by 3 meter, and this is a toilet block having size 2.1 meter by 1.2 meter. A general example we are going to adopt here, and in this we have to make the column position according to the RCC consultant who gives us a column positions in the actual working drawings. The working drawings are prepared by an architect and which are followed by a structural engineer who gives us a various RCC components, their sizes and their steel in that various parts. So just like here, the position of column is shown in this plan. So we are going to take only one example how to calculate the measurement, how to take the measurement of a single column. So just see here a two-dimensional figure of this column, and suppose this is a step footing we are going to adopt here, having size 1.5 meter in width, and the steps are 0.45 meter, and the plinth height is 1.2 meter, right? So this is the ground level. Here 0.45 and here also 0.45 meter. So this is like a column and a stepped UCL foundation. Just we are going to take an example of this item to find the quantity, right? BB machinery and this UCRM. So for making the wall and the footing, this is the type of load bearing, right? So for making, this is the ground level and this is the foundation level. For making this stepped foundation, we have to first of all excavate below the ground surface. So first item is excavation for foundation. Excavation for foundation. So here are the how many number of foundations we have to excavate. So in this we just know the 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. 9 numbers of foundations are there. And the depth of foundation is 0.40. Length is 1.5. And what is the breadth? It is nothing but the breadth of wall. Right. So 1.5 into breadth, it is 0.6 meters and height is 0.45. After doing calculation multiplication, we get a quantity for excavation for foundation height. Likewise, second, RCC column in 1:2 to 1:2 1.5:3 mixed proportion. 1:1.5:3 means what? 1 part of cement, 1.5 part of sand and 3 part of aggregates that are mixed for making an RCC column. So how many number of columns are available? There are 9 numbers of columns. So just see here, the brick machinery is shown in this figure, but here if we are going to take cross section over here, first of all we look the wall thickness, and then in the wall there is a one column. So just this is the view of cross section of the wall, right? But the column size is same as that of wall size. So we are going to take 0.23 as a wall thickness, right? So the length is 0.23. Breadth means breadth of this column is given by our RCC consultant, that is 0.45 is the breadth. And what is the height? Height is nothing but how much is our machinery height, that is also kept as a column height, that is generally 3 meters. So for making the calculation, we are going to take the multiplication of all these items and we get the quantity. Likewise, we have to calculate RCC beam having proportion 1:1.5:3. So how many number of beams are available? So beam is nothing but it is the joining part of in between the two successive columns. So how many number of beams are available? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 numbers of beams. But for calculation of the various beams, beam sizes are depends on the length of the beam. So there are various lengths available in our plan. So according to the structural design, the length of the beam, the sizes are varying or different. For different lengths, there are different sizes of the beams, right? So for we are going to just use a example of single beam, right? So we take just single one example of this beam B1. According to the structural engineering, the beam B1 size given is 450 mm depth and 230 mm width, right? And there are three main bars at bottom, that are three bars of 12 mm diameter, and top steel there are two bars of 10 mm diameter. So that is also we have to calculate in the measurement sheet. Only RCC or major items is to be calculated in the measurement sheet. But the steel calculations, we are going to use a specification table. For any type of steel calculation, we have to use the specification table. So for beam RCC beam means we are going to find the quantity of RCC only, not a steel. Here we have to know the how the steel is to be specified in this beam, right? So the calculation of beam quantity, number is 1, width same as that of the width of wall, we are going to place the width of B. Then depth as per given by RCC consultant, that is 0.38 meter, and height here or depth, height or depth, that is